From the 14th to the 17th of January, the classic menswear fair Pitti Uomo took place for the 107th time in the city of Firenze. I visited the spectacle for the first time in my life together with Martina, Pablo and Felix. I just visited Firenze for the first time last year in September and liked it a lot, even though Napoli stole my heart just a couple of days later. I know that might sound very stupid to some of you. Whatever. Before we can walk through Fortezza de Basso, we have to travel from Germany to Firenze. Martina, Pablo and Felix took the plane from Dortmund, while I wanted to take the train instead. After the journey started way too early for my liking, I started to film more in the high-speed train that took me from Nürnberg to München. There I had to switch trains. The Railjet 2 is brand new rolling stock used by the Austrian state-owned railway operator Österreichische Bundesbahn, or in short ÖBB. This train is built by Siemens Mobility and started service in April last year. The line runs from München in Germany via Innsbruck in Austria all the way to Bologna in Italy. To my surprise, the journey was almost on time and I arrived in Bologna roughly 6.5 hours after I boarded the train in München. From there, IC 594, operated by the Italian state-owned railway operator Trenitalia, gets me to Firenze. This train ran an hour late and I arrived at Firenze Campo di Marte at 7:30. I took a cab to our Airbnb and spent the evening eating pizza and chatting about menswear, music and other topics with Felix, Shaban Ali and Kenneth Korengel. The next day started at Grand Hotel Baglioni, where Martina, Pablo and Felix met up with representatives of a made-to-measure production company. We looked at tons of different shoes, suits, jackets and outerwear. We also had the chance to take a look at the women's suiting line the company recently launched. After spending the morning at Grand Hotel Baglioni at Piazza dell'Unità Italiana, we walked to Fortezza da Basso, where Pitti Uomo takes place. We spent some time on the vestibule, took pictures, talked to friends and strangers, and just experienced the atmosphere of Pitti Uomo. Martina and I went on a quick detour to grab some coffee before we briefly met up with Justus Hansen. Our next stop in the beautiful city of Firenze was Trattoria Sasa at Piazza del Mercato Centrale. There we had lunch. With no time to spare, we quickly walked back to our Airbnb and met up with Justus Hansen again. They discussed a custom suit they will make for him and Felix took his measurements for it. Our evening activities are not on camera for that day, sorry about that. On Wednesday, we started at Fortezza da Basso. There we met Edzard Kurz, style lead brand manager Asia and EMEA at Suit Supply. As we would meet again very soon, we parted ways and Pablo and Felix went onto the actual fair for the first time since we arrived. Together with Martina, they looked for new products for their label MERCURY. They checked out a few different glove companies, bag manufacturers and eyewear producers. While the fair appeared to be pretty busy overall, it wasn't exactly enormous in size. Most of the socializing, taking pictures and meeting people did not happen inside the exhibition hall, but on the vestibule in front of it. That's exactly where we went after our quick walkthrough. Joe Laschet is born in the same city in Western Germany as I am, but not just because of that, it was a pleasure to meet him. He also fits a trend rather well that I did not expect at all, that trend being that I overall spoke more German than English during my time in Firenze. The German classic menswear landscape can sometimes feel rather dull in comparison to France, Italy and the United Kingdom, so that was a pleasant surprise to me. If we talk about Italy, we also have to talk about the Italian gentleman himself, Luca Rubinacci. Both Felix and I had a quick chat with him and he's just as polite, funny and knowledgeable as I expected him to be from his videos on social media. I hope these were enough positive words to land a collaboration with this brand. Just kidding. Or am I? For lunch, we decided to head to Trattoria Sasa at Piazza del Mercato Centrale another time. The food was great for the price, by the way, and the atmosphere in the incredibly spacious restaurant was very unique. You can easily get lost on the way back from the toilet, or even worse, on the way there. Today, Joe and Niklas accompanied us. Our next stop was another production company. They showed us what they have to offer and Martina had another chance to try on a jacket. I hope the emphasis on women's tailoring will be an ongoing trend because there is even more crappy fashion around for women than there is for men. Just recently I had to Google for hours to find an overcoat for my girlfriend because everything was either made of synthetic fibers or cost upwards of 1500 euros. Or both. What Suit Supply is for menswear, decently made suits with a half canvas construction or better, made of good fabrics from acquainted mills, the easy to justify price tag does not exist for women at the moment, but this is a topic for a different video. We started our evening at an event near the cathedral and went to Harry's bar, The Garden. There we met up with Edzard, among others, and spent the time having some drinks and talking. I also had the pleasure to have a quick chat with Brian Sakawa. We already met prior to this event when he hosted an evening party on Tuesday. We went back to our Airbnb after dinner at Osteria Belguardo at Piazza degli Scarlatti. Our Thursday started at Fortezza da Basso. We then made our way to Hotel Savoy at Piazza della Repubblica, where we had an appointment with another production company. After that we went back to Grand Hotel Baglioni for another appointment with Sofia. She was also part of the dinner on Wednesday, as was Maximilian Mock, who we'll also meet again later today. We briefly went back to our Airbnb before heading out for dinner. In case you were wondering, I didn't forget about including lunch, we just didn't have lunch that day. So this was my first proper meal of the day and it was fantastic. I sadly forgot the name of the restaurant, but we had a great time together with Edzard. We spent the evening at an event hosted by Maximilian Mock. At the end, the whole crew united for another time at a bar that I also forgot the name of. I went back home on Friday. I took a cab to Firenze Santa Maria Novella and a Frecciarossa Mille took me to Bologna Centrale. The next time I'll travel via Verona. Porta Nuova is way easier to navigate than Bologna Centrale. Besides that, my way back was exactly the same as my way there. Natalie picked me up in Ansbach and just 5 days after starting the journey at this station, it ended at this station. So, did I enjoy my time in Firenze? To no one's surprise, I must say yes, I did. The atmosphere at Fortezza da Basso was amazing, the Airbnb was amazing, as was the crew that I traveled with. I enjoyed my time with every person we met along the way. To be honest, I would probably have still enjoyed it if nothing of that was the case. I love Italy, as I already mentioned in the beginning. I traveled to Italy with my girlfriend in September. We visited Verona, Firenze, Bologna, La Spezia and Napoli by train in a matter of 2 weeks. Italy has amazing landscapes and natural beauty, but it also has amazing cities that are full of life. The cuisine is fantastic and the relaxed attitude most people carry is rather pleasant. If you haven't been to Italy, I can only recommend that you change that as soon as possible. And if you also love classic style and want to meet the people behind it, Pitti Uomo should find a spot in your calendar. It was a pleasure to be there and I hope to be back in June for the 108th iteration. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Benjamin and this is Sartorial Styles.